The Chinese have essentially had the position formally that they're not doing much to stimulate the economy. They're refraining from heavy infrastructure investment, which is true. All our construction subsectors are still very down, but they're doing a lot more than they're admitting. So our borrowing numbers, our credit numbers generally are just sky high. Borrowing by firms, 6-year high. Bond sales, all-time high in CBB history, and our shadow banking numbers are so interesting. The idea is that the Chinese cleaned up shadow banking and they cracked down and it's gone forever. No, it came back earlier in the year. It came back hard last quarter, and the last 6 months we've seen the highest share of shadow bank usage in the history of China Beige Book.
So growth is slowing for these industries, but they're still growing. It's not there's not declining.
Right, we're not at zero. It is not a contraction. But what it is much less than this ridiculously smooth number that the Chinese present for GDP.
Yeah, what do we really know? I mean, how can the Beige Book tell us, give us a better idea and just sift through all the noise from what the government provides? Yeah,
so directionality, sure. We have proxies for GDP. We don't try to advertise this because, quite frankly, GDP doesn't matter that much. You could build a bridge, tear it down, build a bridge again, tear it down, and get to whatever GDP number you want. But our view is, because we have to play this game, fourth quarter of last year was probably down to about 2%. And then you had a recovery in the first quarter and second quarter, and it's gotten weaker from there. So where are we? We're certainly significantly below 6%. We're above 6%, above 2%. So we're somewhere in there, but we're not anywhere near the smooth performance the Chinese government is claiming, and we're not at the level the Chinese government is claiming.
So the Chinese and what they try to do for the middle class they're used to some big gains and really a quick rise into the middle class, but I don't think they take that for granted, and for years they weren't. This austerity that they're going to have to be subjected to, are they have a lot of staying power with that? Do you think Xi at this point is saying uncle, or is he saying, hey, we can do this, standing on our heads?
I think they said uncle last year at the end of the year when they started to feel how bad the fourth quarter was. Now, if you look at the PMIs, the GDP number, you're not going to get the full extent of the weakness we saw in the fourth quarter last year. This scared the Chinese, and we saw a major rebound in every credit indicator into 2019. So on the short term, Xi has said uncle. In the medium term, I think they hold out the idea that they're going to still do all this restructuring and reform, empower the Chinese consumer, all these things they've been saying for a while. But look, you got a lot of headwinds. You got enormous debt. You've got a trade war. You've got this potential decoupling in the long term with the United States. This is not. It's never going to be easy to do this, and I don't like to ever feel pain. So when exactly is this major reformation going to start?